Hello, Peter here again. This time I'm going to talk about upKeeper 4.8. Keep watching. So, in this release we have addressed a few areas, as always. We have looked at the MSP part to build functions that will be really nice for you as MSPs and in large environments where you want to divide your installation into less complex environments. We have also looked into the onboarding part to make it easier to get clients into the system, and when they are in the system we have also looked into make it even faster to install them. And always we look into the management part, and we have done so this time as well. So when we have a large number of clients, it will be easier to manage them in the system. So let's jump into the system and see what we have done. So here we are. As you can see, the logon screen looks a little bit different than the usual gray one. So in this new version you can actually change the background, and you can change a lot of the logos and so on in the interface, so it will suit your services better, and you can brand your entire installation to your brand as well. It's not just the background in this, it's also the logo, which we have changed to the upKeeper logo in this case, and you can change it. All these settings and pictures and where to put them are documented in the installation documentation. And as you probably know, there is in the upKeeper, my upKeeper, you can also see this branding as well. In this case you can brand the title, so we have branded to the upKeeper Solutions Self-Service. It's normally called my upKeeper when we're referring to it, but that's also possible to change. Everything is documented in one place in the installation documentation under one of the apex. So look it up and start customize your installation. When we log into the interface and in 4.8, we can also see this logo has changed. So you can change all these things as much as little as you want. And this will be really great for your installations when you want to customize it to your own brand. Another thing we have changed in 4.8 is if we go into the administration part, and we see that we have got a few more entities actually. So companies is a new one. What we have done, we have seen to it that you can split up your installation so that you can have an entire organization, that would say another company, owning their own organizations and users. So here we have set up a organization called upKeeper Solutions, or a company. And when we go into it, we can see that this company owns the organization upKeeper Demo, and there are actually administrators for that organization and that company. So if this user would log in, they can create more organizations, they can add users and so on, but they will only be connected to their own organizations. So I think this is a really great thing for you if you want to let other administrators in and you want to give them full control of their companies and their organizations. This is a really great thing for those running this in an MSP environment, of course, and even in large environments where you want to split up the administrations between many different areas in the company, or if you are a big company, of course. Furthermore, when it comes to this, when we are in the administration part, let's have a look at another entity that we added, servers. This has been a request for a long time, that you would give overview of the servers that are involved in your installation. So every component that are connected to the database in some way will actually show up and tell us where they are installed. So if you install another application server on some machine running out there, it will pop up in this list. So this list is self-populated. And it's not just populated. You can actually see the status of them. You can see if they are online or if they have shut down of some because of some reason. You can see the name of the server they are running on. You can see the IP address they are connecting from. You can see the upKeeper version, which is really great when you are about to upgrade to a new version. You can see the .NET version, and as you know, we are really relating on the .NET version for our product. Everything is based on .NET. You can see the OS version of the servers running, or if you run it on a Windows 10, of course that will show up as well. And you see the type of component that are installed. So I think this will be really great from 2 points of view when it comes to the troubleshooting. You can see the service, are they running? Yes, great. And from another part, you can see which versions are running out there. And you can see when you are about to upgrade, which service you have to address and which .NET versions they are running for the moment. This is really great and will be a really efficient way for administrators in the future when they are upgrading and troubleshooting. So let's go into an organization. We will change to our upKeeper demo environment. And go to the management part of that. So we have also had a request for a long time to be able to distribute files from cloud shares. So in this version we have addressed that, and we have added our first share type, and it's OneDrive that we have added. If we go into the configuration part to start with, we can go into the Azure just to, because you have to set up the OneDrive so that it creates an application ID. It's a few steps to do this, and you can find all the information in the installation documentation how to do this. Out of that configuration in the Azure, you will get the client ID, and which you can use like this. You put it in and in this way for the organization. And when you have done that, you can go to the distribution point configuration, and you can see that we have a new tab called OneDrive, and here you can configure it how you want it to be accessible for this organization. So I think this will be great for you out there. Do you want to go the entire cloud track? So you can have all your distribution points, you can have your application service, and you can have your web service and database and so on in the cloud, everything based in the cloud. Another big advantage when you're using OneDrive is that you can use the ability to have a distribution point wherever you are in the world. So if you are using OneDrive to the fullest, your clients can access OneDrive if they are in another country, another part of the world. So I think this will be great, and we will see faster deployments of applications actually when the computers are cloud based. So we have also addressed another feature. We have had the ability to have computers joining Intune and Autopilot for a while. But we saw that we wanted to increase the speed from the installation to the joining. So if we go into the platform part, in this version, when you install, you can actually decide if you want the computer to join Azure during the installation. And this is done if we go into one of the platforms where it's enabled. If you can see the general tab is like it has been for a long while. You have set up the installation in a normal way with an image and so on that you have built. But when we go to the settings part of the configuration for the platform, you can see that the XML is usually filled with a lot of text, and we have templates for them. But the template for computers joining Intunes are quite slim. It's just these few rows. You can add more if you wish, but it's not necessary. Because when they are joining the Intune and Azure configuration, you have set up a profile for your platforms, and the profile is actually copied out in a file like this, so in a text, and you put the text into the settings, and this will be used when the computer is installed. So during the installation, it would get the information from our Intunes entity, and it will do the installation in the configuration we've done there. And during the installation, it would actually join. So this is a really fast way to install clients and have them join Intunes. You can set settings as we are used to. You can set it at the platform level. You can set it at the group level, hardware level, and actually on the computer level. Today, we don't see any necessity to do more configuration than in the platform, but we have built it to be able to, if you want to do that along the way. And if you see some that you need it in your environment. So this, I think, will be great for those who have chosen to use Intune in some way. You get all your computers in one place, and you can still use the fast way of installation clients that upKeeper provides. So let's go along and talk about onboarding. Onboarding is really important, that we have known for a long time, and we have tried to do it as good as possible, and we have actually added some more features. So this version, from this version and forward, you can actually install computers and configure them directly from the SUS. You don't have to add them to the system and then boot up the client. What you have to do some configuration first. First of all, you have to tell the system how to handle these new computers. Should they use a sequential name where you put out in a prefix and then a sequential number that will increase as new clients adds to the system, or shall the system use the serial number of the client that are about to install? When you have set that up, you have to go into the system and you have to add some stuff also in the different departments. When it comes to hardware, you have to tell the system what models there will be you will be using as before, but you have to add some identity for the hardware. So you can't just use your name that you have named your hardware profile. You have to actually add a model identifier as well. This is you can see in our descriptions and so on. You have to tell the system as well which platform that will be used as a default platform. And if we go into the platforms, we have added a new property. So as you can see, it's a default property. So if we check that one and save this platform, it will be used default for all our clients. When it comes to groups, we have added that property as well. So if every new client added to the system should be using a specific group, you can go into the group and you can set it for default, and then it will be joined to that group when it comes up. So I think we have actually addressed all the things we have to be able to install clients directly from the SUS. And this will be really useful when you have a third party that installs your computers and you don't want to let them into the interface. So a question there is how does it look in the SUS? And we will actually look at some screenshots. So when the client boots up, it gives you the normal way. You can now, from 4.7 actually, decide if you want to log in with a passphrase or a login. When you have added the information in this slide, it uses passphrase. You can choose to load the computers available, and if there are computers available, you can use them, or you can use the button Register New Computer, which will, as we have learned just now, will use the default platform, will use the hardware specified. We will detect the hardware, the manufacturer and the model. And the model, you can see the model name is actually described up in model. So that name will be used to look if there are any models that are compatible to use for the installation. And then when it installs and come up to the point where it starts to install application, it will look at the groups that are default and install those applications. So this is a really great feature, and we will. I'm almost certain that we will see many of you guys using this in the future. In 4.8, we have addressed also a few bugs that we had previous, and we had some copy issues when you wanted to copy applications and platforms and hardware and so on, and you were like an admin for the upKeeper installation. That is solved in this version. We have also looked into the inventory error for older clients. So if you have a lot of older clients out there, they will be able to inventory as they always have done before. And we have also addressed a few issues we had with applications when it comes to requirements and conflicting and so on. So all those are solved. If you want to know all the information, look into the release note that are in the installation area. There you can see every little bit and piece that we have changed. So that's all about upKeeper 4.8. If you like what you saw and want to see more of our material, please subscribe to the channel. And remember to hit the bell button, then you get the reminder every time we release something new. And remember, most important, work less, manage more.